Try that one more time. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Canton City Council. Please turn your cell phones to vibrate. We are encouraging everybody to socially distance. Obviously, you guys can see that tonight. With a quorum being present, the chair calls this meeting of Canton City Council to order. Roll call, Mr. Clerk.
Smucker.
Here.
Babcock. Here. Shulman.
Here.
Hall.
Here.
Kimbrough.
Here.
Gaglione.
Here.
Smith.
Here.
Fisher.
Here.
Hall.
Here.
Merrill.
Here.
Ferguson.
Here.
Morris.
Here.
12 present.
Tonight's invocation will be given by Ward 2 Council Member Brenda Kimbrough. If you would all please stand and remain standing for the pledge of allegiance.
Lord, we thank you for this is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you, Lord, for all those things that the council is going to do. Give us direction and help us to do what is best for our constituents in our area. Lord, we thank you for this opportunity to serve as public servants. Thank you, Lord, for protecting the city from the pandemic. And we ask all these blessings in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
To the flag of the United States of America,
Republic
and to the republic for which it
one nation,
one nation, under God, indivisible,
justice.
justice, and
Thank you, Member Kimbrough. We are now under agenda corrections and changes. Leader Smucker.
President, I move Rule 22A be suspended as second reading of ordinances 9 through 15 to this evening's agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to suspend Rule 22A to add second readings to ordinances 9 through 15 on this evening's agenda. Are there any remarks? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Smucker.
Aye.
Babcock. Aye. Shulman.
Aye.
Hall.
Aye.
Kimbrough.
Aye.
Gaglione.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Hall.
Aye.
Merrill.
Aye.
Ferguson.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
12 yeas, President.
The motion carries and ordinances 9 through 15 are a legal part of your agenda. We are now under public hearings, and we have two for this evening. Mr. Clerk, would you please announce the public hearing?
An ordinance declaring a designated area of the city of Canton as a tourism development district to be known as the Hall of Fame Fitness Tourism Development District for the purpose of fostering and developing tourism in that district pursuant to Ohio Revised Code Section 715.014 and declaring same to be an emergency.
Is there anyone in the audience wishing to speak for or against this ordinance? Please step forward. I must repeat, is there anyone in the audience wishing to speak for or against this ordinance? Please step forward.
Hello.
Ms. Bell,
Yes?
this is not public speak. Are you speaking on behalf of this?
The fifth?
This is not, are you speaking on behalf of that?
Speaking again?
Okay, you're more than welcome. Please state your name and residential address, please.
Kimberly Bell. On Street, North Franklin. Again, I see that you guys are wasting money. That we don't need. Because other things.
Ms. Bell, could you please speak a little bit louder, because I don't think
Do I
everybody.
get to speak again too, after I do that? Okay. So, the wasteful spending on this is not, we don't need this, we need other things. It's like, I have been fighting over and over against this. Centennial Plaza is wasting money. You put a garment district there, you see people on Facebook, before the pandemic, after the pandemic happened. Everybody on Facebook was making mad. There's your employees right there. You could have opened up a garment district right there. will make your $12.3 million back. When it's all done and said. So if nobody goes to the Hall of Fame that lives here in Canton, we don't visit the Hall of Fame. For one, it's too expensive, and second, it's just lost its touch. It doesn't entertain anyone anymore. So it was wasteful spending with this Hall of Fame attachment at this centennial site. So this, with this fitness center, don't need much, save the money and put it towards something with this racism thing that you said is a health crisis. Do something with that.
Thank you, Ms. Bell. Is there anyone else in the audience wishing to speak for or against this ordinance? Please step forward. Seeing no one step forward, the chair declares the public hearing over in regard to this matter. The matter now rests in the hands of council. The ordinance will follow later this evening. Mr. Clerk, the second public hearing, please.
The notice declaring the designated area of the city of Canton as tourism development district, be known as downtown Canton Tourism Development District for the purpose of fostering development tourism in that district. Without Revised Code Section 715.014.
Is there anyone in the audience wishing to speak for or against this ordinance? Please step forward. I must repeat, is there anyone in the audience wishing to speak for or against this ordinance? Please step forward. Seeing no one step forward, the chair declares the public hearing over in regard to this matter. The matter now rests in the hands of council. The ordinance will follow later this evening. We are now under old business, and there is no old business for this evening. We are now under public speech, and we have 5 speakers for this evening. Our first speaker is Ms. Kimberly Bell. And I would like to remind everybody that you have 3 minutes during public speech, and Ms. Bell, could you please state your name and residential address, please?
Yes, Kimberly Bell, 35 17th Street, Northwest. I'm here about, I haven't been here long because of COVID and that stuff, and guys were at work. So I was off. So I said, I've been here. I'm having an issue with this racism thing that you guys were all over taking pictures out with the community and the protesters, and there seems that you're spending more money on things on this agenda, and not one word in this pamphlet, in this agenda about the racism issue we have going on, that you all were taking pictures with the community and young ladies back there and the protesters. You were all taking pictures with these people. Not one mention of $1 going to this issue, that issue. I mean, it's a problem. Racism is a problem. And the police department is a problem. I have a problem with one particular officer. After he uses his dog as a weapon on people who detain or people who hurt. Officer Mark Fields, Mike DeWine said he was going to look at all the officers' records in Ohio. Mayor Tom Barnaby, I'm asking you, please, look at this man's record. He put his dog on 2 of my friends' sons. The dog ate him up. Another young man, they said he drowned. I find that hard to believe, that they found him downstream, drowning. I find that hard to believe. That has something to do with police officers. But I'm asking you, please, take Officer Mark Dill's badge and tell him he has to go. He's hurt too many young men. He uses his dog as a weapon. And if you say that racism is a problem, start right there. He did it too many times. I got a picture of him, and I made a protest sign about all the things he's been involved in since he's been an officer of the law. I got it off the internet, And I couldn't believe some of the things that you guys have overlooked with this office. And you continue to do it, and nobody said anything about it. But I'm saying something here today. You put that dog on my best friend's son, and his legs were tore all up, and all up to his back. I mean, he had to have stitches. And then he ended up going to prison for what that officer did. And I think it was something as small as being pulled over or something like that. But you start with your police department, and that's the officer you start with, Markville. You should take time out and look at every officer's record yourself. Don't count on Andrea period. You do it. I mean, you're the mayor, you do it. You're allowed to do anything in that office you want when it comes to the police officers. But you need to take the time out, Tom, and look over them police officers' records.
Thank you, Ms. Bell. Our next speaker is Skylar Bruce. Ms. Bruce, could you please step forward and give us your name and residential address, please?
I'm Skylar Bruce, and I live at 1242 Worley Avenue Northwest. I hope you don't think you're done. I hope you don't think you can declare racism to be a public health crisis and then walk away. Words about health disparities, accurate though they may be, thank you, Chris, do not fix the policing crisis that kills our Black neighbors. City Council is the boss of the police department. They cannot continue business as usual without you, council members, letting that happen. When a police officer murders a Black person in the city of Canton, it's on you. When there is a pattern of police officers murdering Black people in the city of Canton, it's on you. The good thing about being responsible for the problem is that you have the ability to fix it. Don't pass the responsibility off as under investigation, or we have to research that. How much investigation and research do you need to take the Black citizens of this city seriously when they say they're targeted by police? If white football executives were murdered in this city by cops at the same rate as Black people, you would find a way to do something about it, and quick. When we put tourism dollars ahead of Black people's lives, that is racism. It was Canton police officers, emboldened by white supremacy and a system that absolves them of responsibility, who murdered Jerron Nero, Darrell Ross, and so many more. It was Canton police officers, shrouded in secrecy, who continued to abuse Black residents for the mere fact of existing, for objecting to police abuse, for exercising their constitutional right to protest, for any reason or non-reason the police speak. Some of you are very concerned about traffic. I call on white people to put half as much energy into deconstructing racism in our own areas of power as we put into traffic flow. Let's see how far we can get with updated priorities. Will you be the city council who again does nothing? Or will you be the city council who listens, learns, and changes local policing to work for everyone? Black Lives Matter.
Thank you, Ms. Bruce. Our next speaker is Joseph Fisher. Mr. Fisher, could you please step forward and give us your name and residential address, please?
Thanks, Joseph Fisher, and I live at 1012 Colonial Boulevard, Northeast in Ohio. And I'm here to speak on policing body cameras. It is a necessity in the city that every officer, no matter if you're the chief or the newest cadet, must have a body camera on at all times. This will protect both the residents in and around Canton from the unwarranted abuses of the Canton police officers when they deem fit, and will also protect you, the council, when you come up for next year's budget, and you don't have to pay for the thousands upon thousands of dollars in court fines when a police officer is accused of excessive force. These forces may end up in a jury and will cost you time and money, and honestly, the people, the city of Canton, will look at you and frown upon you because you have done nothing for the policing actions that have been taken in the city. No matter what time, as long as you are not on a break and you're not going to the bathroom, a police officer should not be interacting with any member of the public without a body camera recording their actions in case of an event or any action taken by either side happen. This will help everybody in the long run and in the short run, and everything should happen. I propose to you, since 2020 Hall of Fame Festival has been canceled, and through the CPPA contract with guaranteed overtime pay for every single one of the officers during that week. Since this festival is no longer running, you should divert that overtime pay fund to investing in body cameras for every single officer. You have the money, and it will greatly help you and us in the long run, no matter what chance happens. I use that for my time.
Thank you, Mr. Fisher. Our next speaker is Abby Henry. Ms. Henry, could you please step forward and give us your name and residential address, please?
I'm Abby, 113 Woodward Street, Northeast. So, to highlight all of my friends and colleagues' sentiments that they gave today, we're here to talk about serious change that we need from the City Council. We've tried to talk directly to the Canton Police Department, we've tried to talk to the law director, we've tried to talk to the safety director, and we have gotten nowhere. So we need the City Council to do something about it. So, body cameras, just like Joe just talked about. Did you know that, I'm sure you do because you approved the budget, but almost $2 million this year has been spent on settlement by the Canton Police Department. That $2 million could be used to buy body cams for pretty much everyone on the force. You should look into it. The Canton Police Department has told us that the force only has 100 body cameras, approximately only 80 of which are in currently good condition. There's 163 officers employed by the Canton Police Department. So only half of the officers have body cameras? That's ridiculous. And plainclothes officers aren't required to wear body cameras. Special ops aren't required to wear body cameras. So the people who go out in the SWAT vehicles aren't required to wear body cameras. So the people who tear gassed us that Friday, May 29th, didn't have to wear body cameras. How can you sit here and live with yourself knowing that fact that your citizens can tear gas in the streets and you're doing nothing about it? Maybe you should play a victim of the public health crisis, but that's just conjecture. This docket has literally nothing to do with race relations on here. If racism is such a public health crisis, every single week you should have a policy proposal about racism, about racial justice, racial relations, and anti-racism on that agenda, and you should be voting on it. You should be voting on having every single officer required to have a body camera and wear it during their entire shift, and having a third-party review board look at when they turn off their cameras and when they don't, and seeing if that's acceptable. You should be requiring the Canton Police Department and the law department to have a disciplinary database that is open to the public on the website that states every single police officer on the force's disciplinary record. Because that is public record, and the people deserve to know who is supposed to be serving and protecting them. You should also make sure that juveniles can't be questioned without a parent or guardian present, because that's currently not a law in the state of Ohio. You should also make sure that the police department has a data scientist on their team so that they know where the best places to put resources are, and not, the cops doing it, who we know are already biased. We need change, and you guys need to do that. We're not seeing that, and we're disappointed, and we're gonna be here every day until you do what we asked you to do.
Thank you, Ms. Emmer. And our last speaker for tonight is Sierra Manson. Ms. Manson, could you please step forward and give us your name and residential address, please?
Sierra Mason, 3004 King Street, Southwest. Hi, again, my name is Sierra Mason. I'm a constituent, single mother, and a business owner here in Canton, Ohio. I'm also the president of Ohio Community Coalition, which organized a protest that is going outside right now at this very meeting. Today I'm here because Canton really does need to be changed, not only for my daughter, but for every generation to come. First, we really do need to see police officers, every single officer other than undercover, is required to wear body cameras and to be held accountable by a third-party review board. Second, we need to see a public database of the disciplinary records of every officer employed by Canton City Police. Officers are fired in one precinct for excessive force and then able to be hired in another city right here in Stark County, and that's not right. Third, there needs to be an end to questioning minors without a parent or guardian present. There must be a law or a policy that's local that prohibits this from happening and protects our youth from self-incrimination and manipulation. Fourth, there needs to be more transparency between CTD, Canton City Police Department, their intelligence-led policy strategy, and professional data scientists solely in charge of analyzing the data, so that it is as unbiased as possible. I'm calling on City Council to help my community enact these policies that will achieve these 4 goals. We want justice, and we need it now. There's not enough happening between Canton City Police and our community, and I'm again calling you guys out to make a change, because my daughter's life matters, my life matters, and every single Black life.
Thank you, Ms. Mason. We are now under our formal resolutions, and we have one from this evening. Mr. Clerk, would you please read resolution number 27 by title?
Authorize the director, safety director, of one or more purchase orders in total amount not to exceed $26,000 annual subscription for solutions for fire, EMS, and continuing education.
Leader Smuggler.
Mr. President, I move the adopted formal resolution number 27.
Second. It's been moved and seconded to adopt informal resolution number 27. Are there any remarks? Hearing none by voice vote, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The ayes have it, the motion carries, and resolution number 27 is adopted. We're now under communications. Let the journal show that all communications are received and read. We are now under ordinance over resolutions for the first reading. Mr. Clerk, please begin with ordinance number 1.
An ordinance authorizes the mayor, director of public service to accept parcel number 243-113, Hall of Fame Village Hotel 2 LLC, for subsequent transfer to the Canton Community Improvement Corporation, and same to be an emergency. Refer to community and economic development. Number 2, an ordinance authorizing the out of payable obligation amount not to exceed $6,156, black and trustee powers in our law, called PA, Mayor Sandy B. Emergency for Finance. Number 3, an ordinance approving and accepting the replat of lots 219, 25, 219, 26, 219, 27, Mayor Sandy B. Emergency for public safety. Thoroughfares. Number 4, ordinance authorizing Canton annex the territory known as Tiffin Steel Corporation, 2505 Shepherd Church Avenue, Southwest annexation area containing approximately 7.431 acres more or less, assigning said territory to Ward 5, city zoning said territory as I-1 heavy industrial, Mayor Sandy be an emergency for the annexation committee. Number 5, an ordinance authorizing out Lake Central Wildlife Enterprises Inc. more obligation amount not to exceed $21,405.74 related to the Shore Avenue Cemetery Sewer Extension, construction, and declaring same being an emergency for approved finance. Number 6, the board is authorized now to pay all more obligations, Huntington Bank expenses falling prior to the passage of this ordinance. The appropriation ordinance number 59, 2020, declaring same being an emergency for approved finance. Number 7, the board is authorized to settlement of the city of Canton versus State Getter LTD, and declaring same being an emergency for approved finance. Number 8, ordinance amending section 125.02 non-payment checks, dishonor and remittance fees, and declare same to be an emergency referred to judiciary. Mr. President.
At this time, the chair will declare an in-house recess for finance and judiciary committees to meet in regard to ordinances 6 through 8 on your agenda this evening. You are now in recess.
Mr. President,
Member Carroll.
it is 7:29. We'll call finance to order. We have an ordinance authorizing the auditor to pay all moral obligations for Huntington Bank expenses resulting prior to the passage of this ordinance, amending appropriation ordinance number 59/2020 and declaring the same to be an emergency. Finance Director, is this you?
Mr. President, members of council, the city typically or has a banking agreement with Huntington Bank that requires the bank to pay the city earnings credit to offset banking fees that we incur at the bank. Because of the COVID pandemic, the offset fee went from 1.4% in January all the way down to 0.1%. So when that happened, that allowed us to, or not allowed us to, it had us earning more fees than interest that we gain at the Huntington Bank. So the first month we paid $21,000 in banking fees, and the offset was only $2,900 in revenue. So we had a moral ob of $19,000 in fees for April, and that continued in May and June. So what we're doing is we're asking for this council to appropriate $40,000 in the general fund and $105,000 in the water fund to accommodate these fees.
Okay, anybody have any questions on this?
Chairman?
Yes.
We're supposed to have a meeting with Huntington Bank, what happened?
Is Mike down there to talk to this, Mike McEnany? Yeah. He's done.
Mr. Chairman, members of the city treasurer.
Yes.
Is moved funds from Huntington Bank to various other depositories that are used by council to earn more than we can earn.
Are we still using Huntington?
They are our primary depository for all of our services, but in the last 5 months, I would say, we have moved roughly $42 million out of Huntington. That $42 million is not earning what we need to offset our banking services. It is other depositories where it is earning what, funds to offset.
Have we looked at any other banking institutions besides Huntington, and what are the results of that?
We are currently doing that. We're meeting with another bank tomorrow, and we're setting up meetings with other banks to see what we can do. There are a number of considerations. There are specialized services that Huntington provides that other banks cannot, but are examining all of our alternatives.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any other questions regarding this?
Mr. Chairman, I have a question. What depositories?
Yes.
What depositories are we currently doing right now? Besides
Star Ohio, we've got, around 60 million in Star Ohio. The rest is in our portfolio. It's divided out from long-term to short-term, kind of a barbell thing, where we're investing in commercial paper, which is liquid, T-notes, bonds, etc. I mean, so our portfolio, we increased our portfolio from 30 million to a little over 50 as a result of this, to locking our earnings and earn some cash.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, does anybody else have any other questions? Okay. Hearing none, we will sign this out. Moving to ordinance number 7. An ordinance authorizing the settlement of City of Canton v. Day Ketterer and declaring the same to be an emergency. Anyone to speak on this?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yep.
Great, I'm sorry.
We can't hear.
Can you hear me? Hold on.
On the record, we cannot hear you in council.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, much better, thank you.
Okay. All right. This is a lawsuit which was instituted by all of the creditors of Day Ketterer Law Firm when they dissolved. And obviously there were more debts than there was money when they dissolved. We entered this as an unsecured creditor. So to be quite frank, we did not have very high hopes that we would recover any of our money. The money that we were owed was from a tax incentive that we gave them to retain jobs. The original amount that we were owed was $141,473.58. But as an unsecured creditor, we were far below most of the other creditors. The agent in charge of the settlement, not exactly like a bankruptcy, but he was the agent in charge of liquidating Day Ketterer's assets, did offer us what we think is more than what we thought we were going to get. It's still not as much as we would have liked, of course, but they're offering us the amount that you see on your agenda of $51,978.71. We are recommending that we take this because if we do not take this amount, everybody else takes their amount, and most likely there will be no assets left for us to recover any of our money. We may have another source of some amount of money that I'm hoping we can recover in the future from another source, that may bring us up a little closer to half of the amount that we were owed. But I really can't talk to that now. But Phil Shondal of my office has worked extensively on this, as well as myself, and we are recommending that we take this sum of money.
Okay, does anybody have any questions on this? Okay, hearing none, we'll sign it out. Thank you, Law Director. Yeah, Leader. Leader Smucker, did you have a question?
Yeah, I have a question. What makes us think this is the best deal possible we can get, even though we're unsecured credit?
Why do I think it's the best deal possible? Because there are a lot of secured creditors ahead of us, and really and truly, if we fight, they'll probably take it all.
Why are we doing this so quickly?
The agent requires us, actually it's slowly, the agent wanted us to accept this a week ago. We said we could not, we had to wait for counsel. If we don't accept it, they'll simply move on without us, settle out the claims, and we'll be left in a lawsuit to sue a defunct law firm whose assets have been liquidated, basically.
Leader Smuckler?
What law firm has more than personal assets anyway? I guess what I'm asking is that how can we tell that whether people took bonuses or whatever in the last year and knew this was happening, and we get a third of our money?
Well, it's a corporation, as you well know, Majority Leader, and we're not going to be able to get after their personal assets. We can only go after the assets that were there. If there was some bad faith there, I don't know. But there is no evidence that we have of that.
I'm not accusing anybody of anything. All I'm doing is that I can't stand one reading and one and done, and we're passing something through, and I expressed my displeasure at some of these settlements to you on a personal basis just days ago, and now I'm being asked something on this.
Well, you expressed upset about settlements where we were paying out money, not where we were receiving money. And again, this is a very different situation. This is a basically defunct law firm that left many, many people holding the bag, so to speak. And the bottom line is the agent who's in charge of this liquidation wants us to take this. We don't have to. You can vote not to. What I'm telling you is it's my best legal advice. If we don't take this, it is very possible that we won't get anything. But I'm willing to do what City Council wants me to do.
Leader? Any other questions?
Chairman Merrill?
Yes, Member Morris.
Law Director, how much do they actually owe us?
They owe us, and this is from taxes they didn't have to pay, okay? $141,473.58. And if I may make one comment, Member Morris, I don't think this was I never liked this deal in the first place. So, you know, but that's just me.
So we're settling for about 30 cents on the dollar.
If we can't get the rest of the money that I'm hoping, we might get close to 50 cents on the dollar, but that's the best I'm going to do in this particular deal, in my opinion.
And sadly, I have to say, 30 cents on the dollar on a bankruptcy is not a bad settlement.
Exactly.
I've seen people settle for 10 cents on the dollar. So.
Well, and our position as an unsecured creditor is not a good one.
Right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, hearing none, we'll sign that out. Thank you, Law Director, and it seems that if this passes council, this will pay for a little over 2 months of banking.
It's bad. Yes.
It is 7:42. That concludes finance.
Yes, Mr. President?
Member Schulman?
Yes, signing in at 7:42, an ordinance amending section 125.02, non-payment checks, dishonored remittance fees, and declaring the same to be an emergency.
Madam Chairman, this is Chris Bates again, although Mike McEnany may also wish to speak to this, but this was discovered recently by the administration that we had some things going on with our
kind of new innovations of paying online and paying by credit card, that folks were being charged a fee when it was a mere mistake rather than trying to defraud us out of money. And this was also brought to our attention by Councilman Morris. So this amendment is to make sure it's clear that the treasurer's office, in those cases where it is merely an error, can waive that penalty and will only assess it in those cases where people are truly, we have this where they give us closed account numbers, their ex-girlfriend's account number, accounts where they don't have sufficient funds, fictitious numbers that they just make up. So we're going to differentiate between those and make sure, though, the people that are trying to pay online like we would like them to and simply make an error are not penalized.
Okay, thank you, Law Director. Any other questions or concerns?
Yeah, Madam Chair.
Yes.
First, I'd like to thank, the administration and especially John Hyman. But there are some red flags that are still coming up on this. If we passed this legislation back in 2016, according to what I'm being told, we just happened to start enforcing this legislation May of 2020. And I'm having trouble wrapping my head around the fact that my wife was the first person in the city of Canton since 2016 to enter in an incorrect account number and be charged this $15, which I might add that Huntington Bank only charges us $13.50, but we're charging $50. Now, I'm glad we're fixing this, but how much digging are we doing to see that there's some seniors out there, or folks who can't afford to pay the $50, especially back in the bi-monthly or the quarterly billing? How many of these fell through the cracks?
Mr. Councilman Morris, and if I may, Madam Chairman.
Yes, Law Director.
John Hyman has already directed the Water Department to look into this. They found 115 instances of a charge being assessed. They are going to go through each and every one of those to see which were errors and which are people trying to kind of get over on the system. Unfortunately, we do have that happen quite frequently, and we will make that correct. And I'm sure maybe Director Hyman has more to discuss, but he informed me today that he had already started that audit process. The treasurer already has working on internal processes to make sure that this runs in a way that if someone makes a simple error, they are not charged. But I will assure all of you that even though the bank doesn't charge us a whole, lot of money, the work that it takes, and Mike McEnany can speak to this, because what happens is we credit all the money that we say we received. When that ends up not happening, the banks go in and grab money out of our account. We don't balance, and it is truly a vast amount of work for the treasurer's office to then get us back into balance and to try to then go after this money. It's quite a headache, and that's why they changed it from $25 to $50, because it wasn't covering our costs to try to get our money. So just that by way of background, but I will defer to either Director Hyman and or Michael McEnany.
Would either like to speak? Go ahead.
Yeah, this is John. Can everybody hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't really have anything to add, although I can confirm what the law director stated. Utility billing is going through the accounts in question that was charged. The $50 to try to ascertain if it was an error or some type of other issue. They've begun that process. I don't have an answer right now as to how many might be in need of adjustment, because they'll actually have to go through each of the individual accounts. But they are doing that. I assure everybody this will get remedied. I've spoken to both the treasurer Treasurer Perez and Chief Deputy McInerney, and I know they're on board, and we will work together to make this right for folks.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, we'll sign that out at 7:48. That concludes judiciary.
Council is reconvening after the recess. Leader Smuggler.
Mr. President, I move we suspend Rule 22A and place ordinances 6 through 8 back on the seat.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to suspend Rule 22A to place ordinances 6 through 8 back on this evening's agenda. Are there any remarks? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Smucker.
Aye.
Babcock. Showman.
Aye.
Hall.
Aye.
Kimbrough.
Aye.
Scaglio.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Hall.
Aye.
Merrill.
Aye.
Ferguson.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
What was that?
Member Morris, did you say aye?
Go ahead, Mr. President.
Motion carries and ordinances 6 through 8 are a legal part of your agenda. Leader Smuggler.
Mr. President, I move we suspend the statutory rules of ordinances 6 through 8.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to suspend the statutory rules on ordinances 6 through 8. Are there any remarks? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Smucker.
Aye.
Babcock. Showman.
Aye.
Hall. Kimbrough.
Aye.
Scaglio.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Hall.
Aye.
Merrill.
Aye.
Ferguson.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
Go ahead, Mr. President.
You've heard the 3 readings, Leader.
President, I move we adopt ordinance number 6.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that you adopt ordinance number 6. Are there any remarks under this ordinance?
Mr. President,
Member Muro.
so I hope that we very, very rapidly find a solution to this, whether this is negotiating a better deal with Huntington or finding another bank. To have costs of $240,000 a year to do banking is unacceptable. And, 2-3 months of this is too many months for this to go on. So I hope that once we pass this, in very quick order, we find a solution to this problem. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Muro. Are there any additional remarks under this ordinance?
Yeah, Mr. President?
Member Morris.
Yeah, I'd like to chime in on what Member Merrill just said. You know, the whole time we were discussing that, I'm thinking to myself, so many banks out there are waiving fees for just about everything. And here we're smacked in the face in the middle of a pandemic with a nice big moral lob from Huntington Bank. I would really like to see us explore our options elsewhere if need be to get this reeled in. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Morris. Are there any additional remarks? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Smucker.
Aye.
Babcock. Showman.
Aye.
Hall. Kimbrough.
Aye.
Scaglio.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Hall.
Aye.
Merrill.
Aye.
Ferguson.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
Go ahead, Mr. President.
The motion carries and ordinance number 6 has been adopted. Leader?
President, I move we adopt ordinance number 7.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that you adopt ordinance number 7. Are there any remarks under this ordinance?
Mr. President,
Leader Smuggler.
I liken this to a tax abatement, that we go back and we reevaluate these on an ongoing basis. And in some instances, law director, you correct me if I'm wrong, we've gone back and gotten back taxes off of people who have not fulfilled their contracts with us. Is that correct?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Can you, all right. Yes, we certainly have, but they have had assets. We have absolutely, when someone breaches their agreement not to retain the jobs or create the jobs, we absolutely go after them. And we take away their incentives, and then we get our money back. Unfortunately, this is the first time that I recall where a company actually went under like this, so that we can't take away the incentive. They're actually out of business, and we can't get more than whatever there is. But yes, we absolutely do. As soon as they breach, the administration lets me know. If they breach their agreement, they're reviewed, and Fonda may know this better than myself, Deputy Mayor, but whenever they breach their agreement, it's brought to our attention, and we, again, take away the incentive and then try to recover whatever money.
Aren't all these attorneys on an individual basis responsible for the taxes that were waived?
No.
It's paid through the corporation?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that last part.
It's the individual taxes are paid through the corporation. Mr. McEnany, can you help us, please?
Mr. President, Leader Smuggler, first of all, we're not talking about an assessment of tax. For daycare, the tax was assessed and paid by daycare. Under the job creation agreement, the city agrees to pay an incentive payment from the general fund, not tax collected, calculated based upon the amount of tax that was paid, percentage. So daycare filed and paid the taxes, and you're absolutely right. In terms of the partnership, essentially, the tax is imposed upon each individual. But in this situation, the tax has been paid. What Canton is doing is clawing back an incentive payment is made to daycare based upon the taxes that they have paid.
So we reimburse daycare for this month.
I wouldn't say reimbursed. It is an incentive payment based upon taxes that they pay. They pay the tax to the general fund for the job creation incentives. Those incentives are directed by council to pay from the general fund. So it's an incentive payment based, pursuant to a number of ordinances the council has set up saying, under these circumstances, we want to incent a company to bring in jobs or stay here and retain jobs or whatever. And you're paying that incentive from the general fund. It doesn't have anything more to do with the tax return other than based upon a percentage of those taxes.
Yeah, we've given them money back.
Yeah.
Based on taxes collected.
So the tax has been collected. And we haven't given them tax back. We've paid them an incentive.
When was this settled?
When was this settled?
When was this ordinance? When was this settled? Who was involved in this?
In the daycare or the whole?
Yeah, the daycare.
The daycare, I think that we had paid, the city of Canton had paid to daycare 3 years worth of incentives, roughly. And so that would have been 18, 17, 16, so it would have been in 2015.
No, when was this settlement drafted for the third?
Oh, I don't know that has to do with
Madam Law Director, when was this settled?
Well, it's not settled. That's
Well,
up to council. The agent called us and offered this amount this past week. and wanted us to accept at that time. We explained to him we could not do it until we brought it to council. I believe it was like the end of last week, middle of last week, and we told him we couldn't, and that's when we put this on your agenda.
I'm just at a loss because as majority leader, I didn't know anything about this.
Well, we didn't either until a few days ago.
I'm done.
Madam Chair. Are there any additional remarks on this ordinance?
No.
Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Smucker.
No.
Babcock. Aye. Showman.
Aye.
Hawk. Aye. Kimbrough.
Aye.
Scaglione.
Aye.
Smith. Aye. Fisher.
Aye.
Paul. Aye. Merrill.
Aye.
Ferguson.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
11 yeas, 1 nay, Mr. President.
The motion carries and ordinance number 7 has been adopted. Leader?
Mr. President, I move to adopt ordinance number 8.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that you adopt ordinance number 8. Are there any remarks under this ordinance? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Smucker.
Aye.
Babcock. Aye. Showman.
Aye.
Hawk. Aye. Kimbrough.
Aye.
Scaglione.
Aye.
Smith. Aye. Fisher.
Aye.
Paul. Aye. Merrill.
Aye.
Ferguson.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
12 yeas, Mr. President.
Motion carries and ordinance number 8 has been adopted. We are now under ordinances and formal resolutions for their second reading. Mr. Clerk, please begin with ordinance number 9.
Ordinance declaring designated area of the city of Canton as tourism development district to be known as the Hall of Fame Fitness Tourism Development District for the purpose of fostering and developing tourism in that district, pursuant to the Ohio Revised Code Section 715.011, be an emergency. Number 10, ordinance declaring designated area of the city of Canton as a tourism development district to be known as Downtown Canton Tourism Development District for the purpose of fostering and developing tourism in that district, pursuant to Ohio Revised Code Section 715.014, declaring same to be an emergency. Number 11, ordinance authorizing mayor director of public service entering a 1-year contract with the option of 2 1-year extensions. Stark Metropolitan Housing Authority for vehicle maintenance and fuel services, declaring same to be an emergency. Number 12, ordinance authorizing mayor director of public service advertise seekers award and ending the contract necessary for purchase of and distribution of approximately 25,000 wheeled carts for sanitation department to be distributed to single-family residential use or to alternatively enter into all contracts necessary using any procurement authorized by law to enter into a lease purchase agreement, facilitate said purchase, and declare same to be an emergency. 13, ordinance amending chapter 975 solid waste management system, section 947.09, payment of chapter 947 sewer rates, part 9 of street utility public services code. 14, ordinance authorizing mayor director of public service and contract amendment number 1 and final, amount not to exceed $56,180 Cadis for the water reclamation facility sludge processing modification project, contract 27 professional engineering services contract, amendment number 1 and final, authorize the auditor to pay all more obligations related to this contract amended, Mr. Director, be authorized to all actions prior to passage of this ordinance related to the same, declaring same to be an emergency. 15, ordinance vacating portion of Bedford Avenue Southwest, Grove Place Southwest, and Eagle Place Southwest, and portions of Mosley Court Southwest, approving accepting the replat of all lots 14355 to 14404, 12971 to 12975, 1176, 1178, 1179, 1192, 1193, 36944, outlot 1392, and part of lots 36943, 10175, 10177, and 1018. Vacated portions of streets vacated here and declaring same date emergency.
Leader?
Mr. President, I move we adopt ordinance number 15.
Second, President.
No, we need to suspend the statute.
I'm sorry. Mr. President, I move we suspend statutory rules, second reading of ordinance number 15.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to suspend the statutory rules on ordinance number 15. Are there any remarks? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Buckles.
Aye.
Babcock. Aye. Showman.
Aye.
Paul. Aye. Kimbrough.
Aye.
Gaglione.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Paul.
Aye.
Merrill.
Aye.
Ferguson.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
12 yeas, Mr. President.
Motion carried. The motion carries. You've heard the three readings. Leader Smuggler.
President, I move we adopt ordinance 15.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that you adopt ordinance number 15. Are there any remarks? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Smucker.
Aye.
Babcock. Aye. Showman.
Aye.
Paul. Aye. Kimbrough.
Aye.
Gaglione.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Paul.
Aye.
Merrill.
Aye.
Ferguson.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
12 yeas.
Motion carries and ordinance number 15 has been adopted. We are now under ordinance and formal resolutions for their third, final reading and vote. Leader Smuggler.
Mr. President, I move we reconsider ordinance number 116/2020 adopted on June 15th.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to reconsider ordinances 116/2020 adopted June 15th, 2020. Are there any remarks?
Mr. President,
Member Merrill?
this is Finance Director Kraus.
Oh, sorry about that.
You're fine. I just want to explain the reason for the reconsideration. When we passed this ordinance at our last meeting, we appropriated all the funds into the CD department, org code 506019. After a conversation that I had with the auditor's office, it was determined that it would be best to appropriate all the funds in this grant to the fund level. It just gives us a little bit more flexibility with spending the money. As of right now, we're not exactly sure which department and how much we're going to be spending out of each department. So it just gives us a little bit of flexibility on controlling the funds.
Thank you, Finance Director. Are there any additional remarks? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Smucker.
Aye.
Babcock.
Aye.
Showman.
Aye.
Paul. Aye. Kimbrough.
Aye.
Gaglione.
Aye.
Smith. Fisher.
Aye.
Paul.
Aye.
Merrill.
Aye.
Ferguson.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
12 yeas.
Motion carries. Leader Smuggler.
President, I move we adopt ordinance number 16 as amended.
Leader Smuggler, we need to amend the ordinance.
Mr. President, I move we amend ordinance number 16.
Second.
For the record, it's ordinance 116/2020. It's been moved and seconded to amend ordinance 116/2020 per the copy before each of you. Are there any remarks? Hearing none by voice vote, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. Leader?
President, I move we adopt ordinance 116 as amended.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt ordinances 116/2020 as amended. Are there any remarks? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Smucker.
Aye.
Babcock. Stoneman.
Aye.
Hall.
Aye.
Kimbrough.
Aye.
Scaglione.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Hall. Merrill.
Aye.
Ferguson.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
12 yeas, Mr. President.
The motion carries and ordinances 116/2020 as amended has been adopted. We are now under announcement of committee meetings.
Mr. President,
Community and Economic Development will meet on 7/13 at 6:30.
Thank you, Member Ferguson.
Mr. President,
Member Merrill.
Finance will meet same time, same place.
Thank you, Member Merrill.
President.
Member Babcock.
Personnel will meet same time, same place.
Mr. President,
Thank you, Member Babcock. Member Kimbrough.
Public Safety and Thoroughfare Committee will meet same time, same place.
Thank you, Member Kimbrough. Member Hawk.
President. I apologize for that. Environmental,
Annexation.
pardon?
Annexation. Annexation, Member.
Annexation committee will meet same time, same.
No, thank you, Member.
Sorry. Apologize.
We are now under miscellaneous business. Is there any miscellaneous business for this evening?
Mr. President.
Mr. President.
Leader Smuggler.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Leader Smucker, please.
I have a couple questions. Number one, to the treasurer. Does council designate, beginning of every term, who the bank is that we will be using?
Designates every 5 years who are the eligible depositories for the city. Deposit on the city.
Well, I don't know if I'll still be here in 5 years. I'll let the record show that I've been around a long time. Don't bring me back, Huntington Bank.
Mr. President, Member Smuggler, the treasurer is going to negotiate with all banks that can and do the best that it can. Again, as I mentioned before, there are services that Huntington provides to Canton. There are specialized services that no other bank in the area can provide. Specifically, 5 lockboxes, building code, T&E, tax, utilities, ambulance. The services that their lockbox provides, other banks cannot. Otherwise, I think that we represent them.
I have been shocked that Huntington's the only bank in the United States that can provide that service.
You're right, and we are looking, we are considering all the alternatives that are available.
Mr. President,
Leader.
to the law director, whoever can answer this question. Is it state law, is it local law about minors being questioned without adults present?
Call to
Can
record.
you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Am I back on? Okay, I'm sorry about that. It is basically constitutional law, Majority Leader Smuckler, that has been handed down by the courts. At a certain age, the courts have found that a minor may, in fact, adequately waive his rights, like his right to counsel, right to remain silent, that he or she has the maturity to be able to do that. It's kind of a case-by-case basis in certain instances. And then younger than a certain age, they are not deemed to be competent. You also have to take into account if someone has a learning disability or a mental incapacity as well. So it's a combination of state and national constitutional law that brought this to the fore.
Do we know what that age is?
I would have to look if there's been any recent rulings. Typically, it's about 13 and over. They can be questioned, although it all depends, too. I don't know exactly what you're talking about. We could talk about this in more depth, but if you're talking school officials, police officers, school officials in conjunction with police officers, because there's some differences there in the school setting as well.
I just believe that since we don't speak during public speaks, that while people keep coming down here searching for answers, I want to know what some of the answers are. Is the body cam situation by contract? Is it by policy? Is it how is this built out?
Which situation? I could not hear you. Which situation are you talking about?
The body cams.
Oh, the body cameras. We we were on the forefront of body cameras. We were the first in the county and one of the first in the state. They're very expensive. We armed our beat cops, obviously, our patrolmen first, because that's the most important. We have worked out bugs with the first system. We had a lot of breakage and a lot of reliability, but that's because they were a new technology. We are now in the process of purchasing brand new ones. We're going to have 130 of them, so we'll be expanding it even further. We also had a problem with storage, so we now have cloud storage, which is going to cost us quite handsomely, but it's worth it to store the footage. And so we are rapidly, I think, and to the police department's credit, expanding our ability for body cameras. This has been discussed extensively with the young folks in the coalition. I don't know why they didn't mention some of these things. That, yeah, currently our older broken down cameras, we probably only have about 80 functioning, but that still services all of our patrol. And we're in the process of and purchasing brand new ones, and we'll have 130, and we're moving in that direction. Some of our interior officers who work in the building and do not interact with the public, I don't know why they would need a body camera, but again, we're going to have 130 here shortly.
Thank you.
Mr. President. I don't know if administration, somebody can answer. I thought even before I came on council, there was a body, I should say, set up with residents as like a advisory or review board for the community to interact with the policing. I thought we had that already.
We do have that, Councilman.
Mayor Burley.
We have a community relations board.
Mr. President?
5 members from the community, quarterly, I believe that they met this last week. Primary review interdisciplinary items.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Member Hall.
Member
Merrill.
Yes, and I'd like to touch on something that Leader Smuckler mentioned. I would like to request maybe at the next meeting if Treasurer Perez could come and give us an update about the negotiations with Huntington or other banks. And I appreciate that Treasurer is working on that now, but quite frankly, this goes back to April. And every week that goes by, we get closer to another $20,000 banking charge. We should have had a solution to this quite quickly after the first one of these. So I'd like to maybe at the next meeting have an update and have regular updates until this is fixed, because $20,000 a month with the uncertainty of the city's finances moving forward is just completely an unacceptable answer to this. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Murrah. Is there anything else under miscellaneous business for this evening?
Mr. President.
Clerk Dockery?
Member Murrah wants that at the next meeting, and if so, we have to change the committee meetings to make it maybe 6 or 6:15, however long you folks think that's going to last with the treasurer. So please.
Rivera?
Leader Smuckler, if you are good with that, could we move it up to 6:15? Okay, 6:15 then.
Thank you, Member Rivera.
Thank you, Mr. President.
We have tomorrow night scheduled, and this is the Stark County Collaborative on Race Relations. This is a voluntary group, primarily affiliated very closely with everyone involved in coming together in Stark County. We are holding tomorrow night. Elected officials and members of the public. This has been in the newspaper 2 or 3 times in the last month. 7 p.m. It's going to be held tomorrow night at Faith Family Church, which is located at 8200 Freedom Drive, Northwest. But you can attend either in person or by Facebook. And if you attend in Facebook, that's Facebook at Coming Together with Stark County. That's the Facebook page. Again, strongly encourage everyone to attend or at least to participate via Facebook. The city Canton will be represented by members of the police department and the administration, and such issues as Member Smucker was talking about tonight are going to be covered. Hiring process, psychological evaluations in the hiring process, use of force policy, training, disciplinary, juvenile affairs review, community relations training, body cameras, the role of police unions, knowing their legal rights, public records questions, state and federal police reform, the Obama Foundation, my brother, keep it pledged for everyone to ask questions, a little Q&A period. Scheduled for 90 minutes, 7 p.m. tomorrow night. This is going to be the first federal forum. There will be another one on Thursday night. The first one is the Canton Police Department, so that's what this is on. Thursday night is going to be on the Stark County Sheriff, and the other differently anticipated other forums on race relations will be scheduled in the future by the city. Very, very important to the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Murphy. Clerk Dockery, our quote for the week, please.
No one is born hating another person because of his colors or his background or his religion. People must learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to.
Thank you, Clerk Dockery. Leader?
President, I move to adjourn.
Second. Then moved and seconded to adjourn. Mr. Clerk, roll call vote, please.
Martin.
Aye.
Zappa.
Aye.
Shulman.
Aye.
Hall.
Aye.
Kimbrough.
Aye.
Gaglione.
Aye.
Smith. Fisher.
Aye.
Hall.
Aye.
Merrill.
Aye.
Ferguson.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
12 days, President.
This meeting is adjourned. Thank you for coming this evening.
Thank you, everyone. Good night. Thank you.
Bye.
Good night.
Here, that's the one for that market, right, facing.
The one that faces 77.
Looking off a shuffle road, I believe.